Welcome to the Modern Day Trader with your boy Marcelino, and I am happy to say that we are a week and a half into the challenge, one full week of trading, and I think it's a partial success. And the reason why it's a partial success is because we caught hands for 4 days in a row. I'd say 3 days in a row, and then we made that back on the Friday, ending the week up at break even. Look at the stats. I will see 11 trades per half. It's just split into two. So if you divide that by two, it's about 5 trades in total that were taken, right? And ultimately, what happened was Monday, perfect trading day, took the trade, taking a break even, and then a partial loss essentially. That loss was down to me not effectively trusting the system fully. And it happens. It's like I was looking at structure on the 5 minute and structure on the 15 minute. The one on the 15 minute got triggered, went to break even, and then essentially took me out to break even. The one on the 5 minute got triggered, took me out at stop loss, and that was the first loss that I took. Well, it was like split into essentially 0.5%. And then what happened on, I think, the Tuesday was the fact that I was going into a meeting and I just completely forgot to delete my sell limit before going into that meeting at 10:30. And the issue is that when you do these types of things, especially if like your session is ending at 11 o'clock, then you don't know how long a meeting is going to go for. Effectively, what can happen is that structure can change. I think it might have even been Wednesday because it was EU. And what happened was that price action had actually pushed into the higher time frame fair value gap, and then thereafter shifted 15-minute structure, triggered me in, and effectively took my stop loss out. Now, the good thing is learning this thing early on is that now I can put measures in place to mitigate these types of losses. If I'm going into a meeting where I know it's going to be a long meeting, where my session, it might overlap with my session going into the next session or even into London lunch times, then what I effectively have to do is just either not trade that session or just delete my limit orders before going into that meeting. Now, if it's a 30-minute meeting, that's fine. We can take that one and just continue moving. However, it's the perfect time to get this type of loss because now I can effectively put processes in place to combat that, right? And I feel like you want to experience these losses early on because you really want to understand what could keep you from achieving your goal outside of like just taking an actual loss. So yeah, like I feel like for me right now I've been taking about 0.2% in total for the day. So that on a $50,000 account it's $200. And actually, it's not. It's 0.4%. I risk $100 per trade, split $100 up into 50-50, and then I might take a second trade if it does avail itself effectively. And I just realized now that's actually 0.4%. So yeah, that's what I've been trading. That's how I've been trading. And come the end of this week, effectively, the plan is that I need to have a solid trading plan moving into November, speak to Sam about it, and really knuckle down on everything that I have in my trading plan. Right now, we're basically trading with high time frame PDAs, anticipating where the daily could go to, where the weekly could go to, and then formulate the plan from the weekly onto the daily. And then once you have that plan and you know where price is magnetizing to on a daily time frame, you can start to anticipate intraday wise where price action is more likely to go to in that particular day. And if it's against your price action is moving against your effectively your bias for the higher time frame, then on that particular day, then you just don't trade. And I feel like that's the best way moving forward. And what I've also noticed is that all the days where I did take L's, more often than not, I had the direction right, which is perfect. So it's just about knuckling down and getting the entry correct, right? All we need to know is the time and price theory because that's how price action moves. So like my my times are aligned to London kill zone and New York kill zone, which is kind of perfect for intraday. But it's time to find where price is going to get to on that intraday basis and having belief, because I find that like coming back into the live markets this week, the belief in me knowing what my confluences are from a higher time frame perspective to believe that that is the direction was a bit of an issue. Now, in hindsight, looking back over the week, it played out majority of the days. Monday, Tuesday, I was short on EU because I was long on DXY into a key level before price action could then start to basically reverse and come lower on DXY, meaning we're going to go higher on EU. And so when Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was bullish and it closed bullish, and that means that like it provides more confidence in me anticipating where price action could go to for the day, for the week. And I feel like trading is very much a confidence thing, being able to lean on the fact that you know how to effectively predict and analyze where the market's going to go to. And then when you're wrong, you're wrong. You can learn from when you're wrong. You know what I mean? But having that confidence means you have more confidence to pull that trigger and place the trade and believe that your direction is correct. Because that's all trading is 90% of the time, is determining direction and then finding where you can enter on the lower time frames. And so I feel like once I get to actually like refining my entries on the lower time frames, that then means that I'm gonna have my direction at least 80 to 90% of the time correct, which is something that I feel like I'm pretty confident at. And so week one of this trading journey, as you saw earlier, ended at break even, down $20, which is really break even. So we sitting good. We have a full trading week behind us. It's quite clear to me that you can make 2% a week, 3% a week, because if you lose uh 2-3% in a week, you can make that back on the Friday. That's quite clear to me. However, the goal is to get to a point where I'm consistently making 1 to 2% a week, 1 to 2% a week, or even 2 to 4% a week, so that I can average on at the end of the month just a 4 to 8%. And we're fine. If we can average a 4 to 8%, then we're looking good. Then we're really looking good. So that's the plan going forward. The active plan for the next week is to backtest EU and then to finalize and type out my plan based on everything that I'm using and based from the data that I have back from the strategy. So that's the plan moving forward. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Look forward to more post-trade videos, effectively meaning that after the trade, I'm gonna try and make a video just recapping either the trade or speaking you through my emotions of that trade and how I feel at the end of the day. Because I can tell you that at the end of that day where price action took me out while I was in a meeting, I was pretty upset. Like I was angry at myself because it's like, you knew you were going into a meeting. Why the fuck didn't you delete the order? So yeah, but it's stuff that we learn to get us to where we need to get to. So I'm looking forward to this journey, and I hope that you guys look forward to it and stick through this with me. So without further ado, please don't forget that failure is feedback. Feedback is knowledge, and knowledge is power. From your boy Marcy at the Modern Day Trader. Have a profitable week, have a wonderful week, and achieve those goals. Peace out, man.